So the V2K talkers didn't like the way this came out in the video. I did it the way I did it just at first. So without trying it, and I think I told you guys that I tend to just try to do something, a video where I'm doing it for the first time because sometimes I just have one take. I can't do it over. So I try to do it that way so that you guys can see how it actually is when I'm crafting. So it's not like I did it before and then I did it over for camera. No, I did it for the first time. And so they were like, why don't you just redo it again? I wouldn't redo it here. I would try to redo it when I'm not here so that I can concentrate and focus. And this is what this is all about. I think they keep forgetting when they keep criticizing me, they are taking away my focus. And I'm going to call this video Focus. I did a whole playlist that I call Chaos. I'm going to call this Focus. And part of why this is so important is that they don't seem to understand that they are proving me right in every single interaction. They keep talking about, well, was I upset when the bus driver left my what you call it, missed my stop and I rang and I had to walk back so many blocks. Yes, and I made it known you missed my stop. And he intentionally didn't stop somewhere closer and didn't give a transfer to go back. And that's my point. There are ways when I was growing up, if a bus driver missed your stop, that bus driver apologized and said, here's a transfer so you can take the bus in the opposite way. That was the right way to handle it, not by saying, oh, well, I can't stop now. And the bus, this thing was pressed, the stop requested was pressed. And that's part of this. Something's wrong with our society. And if we aren't doing something to prove that there's something wrong and then correct it, then we're part of the problem. So they said I was never involved in actively protesting things. Yes, I was. I've shown it over and over and over again. I even have the proof from the press release that I was involved in trying to protect the higher education opportunity program, which I was a part of. So I'm tired of trying to prove myself at 50 years old when people who know me know I don't have to prove myself. These people don't know, and it proves that they don't know. So part of why this had to look this way is because I'm doing it for the first time. They're saying, well, why aren't you telling the truth that you don't have any more jute? I had more jute. That's my whole point. If I wanted to use more jute, I could have used more jute. It's not that I mean, like if I had been doing this off camera and I didn't like the knots or whatever, I could have taken it apart, deleted the video, and just did it the way it, it was. But that's not real. I'm trying to show you reality and living with this program that they said was always in my life to help me. It wasn't. It was not. They're liars. And it doesn't help. It makes things worse. So as I'm doing it, they're like, you should scrap this project. And now, even though the video isn't great, I really love this project. Let me pause it and show you closer. I really love this project. I love the idea that it's all recycled stuff. Jar lids that I scraped off with a scissor, a jar, this canning lid thing that I put on when I did the stand, and then when I wanted to flip it over, it was the wrong side. So I wanted to have this little gold trim, but it would have had the upside. So it's all recycled. Jute that I used on a different project. So they don't like, let me give you their criticism. They don't like that there's hot glue visible. They don't like that this doesn't look, wait, where's the part? Oh, this part I think they hate. They don't like that I didn't put oh, I have to put this back because that part is the glue is coming off. But that's part of this where they use something that cools the apartment, heats it, cools it, heats it. It causes all sorts of things to fall apart. Not just things I made, but professional things. I think I have nearby something that I want to show you. So this is professional, and you see now it has this bubble at the top. All of my snow globes have this bubble at the top because of the technology they used. So I don't know if you guys can see that bubble. You see that? They're all destroyed. So it doesn't matter. I think that's part of this. Let me come back and I'll tell you about that. So before I talk to you more about that, I want to show you. You can get these little inexpensive candlesticks and take the bottom of the stick and use it for a craft. So let me see if I can get that for you. So you see how you can just take this candlestick and attach it to this, and you then have a different type of stand. I just did a video where I showed you a different stand, but I wanted to show you that. Let me get comfortable and I'll be right back. So that's it on the stand. Okay, so what I'm saying is if things that are made by professionals who make these products are destroyed with this technology, and I'm doing my best with all the things I'm dealing with to make something, and it is destroyed, I would spend all day trying to keep repairing, try to make it perfect just for it to get destroyed. This technology destroys things and people. The other big deal about that, and I should sit in a way that I can show you this. Okay, so that I can show you this while I'm talking, is that part of what they're doing in making me lose focus is that I would never be able to create a craft that would be in their minds good. But more than that, it would make this technology seem like something that would work. It doesn't work. It never worked. And they never came up with these ideas. So part of what I'm saying is that this is working for me on so many levels. The level that it makes me lose focus. It destroys things. It creates more work for me to do. When I was using the other glue, it still wasn't drying because by them changing the temperature, 1 minute it's humid, next minute it's hot, hot, humid, hot, humid. It's just so much extra work and time and energy. But what I'm talking about now about focus is something different. And again, I don't know how to sit wait, where you guys can see crafts. So the other point about that is if I get out of this environment and I can really focus more on doing the craft and make it better, it'll stay better. But just to sit here and listen to them come up with things and say it in the background, criticize me, they wanted me to completely delete the video, which is part of what I'm saying. If I'm doing it on camera and showing you and they're causing me to lose focus, that's proving what I'm saying. This was never done to help me. The other big deal is I'm trying to come up with the age range, and I think I did a video where I talked about age range of victims. So if I'm 50 and there are people in that 30 something through 50 range, and probably people who are older, then I'm wondering what happened in this time span that caused this, and how do we make sure that other people don't go through this? So they keep trying to talk about, well, certain parts of this they took from this. That no, I'm talking about the whole process, meaning there's something in them where they can't understand that bits of this will always exist, has always existed. It's not that, it's something far worse, and it's based on making people lose focus. And when you're talking about something that can cause people to make big mistakes, lose focus, take their attention away from what they're doing, that's another issue. Like, could you imagine if they're criticizing the way I craft? Could you imagine them if I had a more serious task with their nonstop talking, nonstop sounds, the hot code? I would never be able to focus. And that was what this was about, to cause me to lose focus. Focus is so important. So I'm going to just go back to quickly saying what I was going to say. If you folks are like me and you feel that this should have been talked about years ago, this should have been said, people should have known about it, and now we're focusing on this, then we need to make some changes. And we need to vote for people who will stand up for victims' rights. They keep talking about me in terms of supporting criminal rights. I'm supporting victims' rights. And that's what I'm telling you, folks. You guys aren't understanding. If we were talking about criminal rights, in some places, the law would make certain things a crime. There was a crime, it would be a crime to free the slaves. So if you're talking about, well, let's focus on criminals getting justice, well, we would have been giving the Ku Klux Klan justice. You guys got to use the same thing that they're trying to take from me. Use your brains, folks. If we're talking about criminal rights, it could always change. But victims are always victims. Thank you for watching.